The Lake Forest Podcast is supported by viewers, listeners, and businesses just like you. Michelle Parno has lived and worked in Lake Forest for over 2 decades. Michelle's lending experience, when combined with her real estate expertise, makes her an invaluable asset to her clients as they navigate their home buying or selling process. Call Michelle now at 847-528-8721, 847-528-8721. For the best cannabis in the world, look no further than Iliad Epic Grow. Owned by Lake Bluff's own Rich Ruzich, they are a cannabis cultivation center focusing on hard-to-find small batch products that will delight both the occasional user and ganjier. When visiting Michigan, ask for it by name. Epic Products, exceptional process. For more information, email info@iliadgrow.com. Laracy & Company CPAs, founded in 2010 by Lake Forest's own Brian Laracy, specializes in tax preparation and bookkeeping services. Earning the People Love Us on Yelp award, their process is straightforward. Just upload, review, and file. For a free quote, visit LaracyCPA.com now. That's LARISEYCPA.com. I'm excited to share with you something special from our Lake Forest community, the Aesthetic Lounge Med Spa, located at 775 North Bank Lane in Lake Forest near Wisconsin Avenue. This just isn't any spa. They offer an amazing blend of traditional spa services plus the added benefit of medical procedures and treatments. In a relaxing and luxurious spa environment, you can enjoy a range of cosmetic and aesthetic treatments. These are all performed under the supervision of top medical professionals. The Aesthetic Lounge Med Spa provides skin care, facial rejuvenation, body contouring, laser hair removal, Botox, dermal fillers, chemical peels, and much more. What's great is that each treatment is tailored not just to enhance your appearance, but also to address specific skin concerns and to promote overall well-being. So if you're looking to pamper yourself and take your beauty routine to the next level, give the Aesthetic Lounge Med Spa a call at 224-768-8028 or visit them at their location on North Bank Lane. It's an experience your skin will thank you for. We'd also like to say we're thankful for our Patreon supporters: Otto, John C., Helen, Herrick, and J.M. Skoo Walker.
What's up?
Power.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, what's up, power, right?
So what happened?
Well, if you've been paying attention to the construction, they seem to keep blowing water pipes and everything.
What's been going on? I haven't been paying attention. I got my own issues. Well, actually, these are my issues.
You look tan, though.
Oh, yeah. Little orange man good spray on tan.
Nice. No, they're moving along. I see they extended the work to the train tracks, so they're ripping up that now, or right before the tracks. But can't wait for the beautification.
You like all that extra traffic that's going right by your biz there?
Well, luckily it hasn't been that bad. I think they got the word out and just people aren't coming.
Oh.
But yeah, there are lots of traffic, but not like what I was expecting. And now it's beautiful. It's a ghost town.
Gorgeous, just how you like it.
Spring break, baby, they all leave.
Yeah. Like Joe Weiss, he's in Florida somewhere.
Oh, is that where he is?
Yeah, he's
what is it called? Naples South or Lake Forest South?
Lake Forest South, yeah. I was just there.
How was that? What are you doing down there?
In-laws.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Gracious nice. In-laws, yeah.
So wrecking bars and all that down there?
Trying to find, the hidden gems, trying
to do the Guy Fieri?
Yeah, pretty much. One drink, everybody knows all the rules.
I don't like this one. Where's the one? I just need a dingy, dark.
I did see.
Probably they're not there in Naples. You have to go a little north, probably.
Yeah, I did see Portillo's boat. I didn't know he was a Marine.
I did see that. It's a lot of boat for dogs.
That's a top dog.
Oh, man,
of itself.
No kidding.
But I don't know, Florida, man. It's
crowded.
Whew.
Is it?
Going in March. Duh.
Oh, yeah. But overall, it seems like everyone's moving there.
Well, yeah, or Texas or Tennessee, Kentucky. you know. Definitely seems like less craziness, or it's organized craziness. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Right.
How about the JV hockey team, man?
That's pretty awesome. I mean, it's some say it's JV, but to win a state championship is just, and I think on top of it, it is the JV, but the JV is like young kids,
Yeah.
freshmen, sophomores, so that's pretty. Um,
38 years ago, I guess they won it. Do you remember that?
38 years ago, I might have been a freshman in college. No, I don't. I mean, it's pretty stellar, but kudos to them. That's phenomenal.
Coach Steve, way to go.
It's
When
too
you're,
bad they're not in like an official, I had to say sport, but doesn't take away what they did. Pretty cool.
don't you think in that money that we paid, they could afford a hockey team?
Oh, the high school?
Yeah.
I don't think it's high school driven. I think it's IHSA driven.
Oh, it is? Okay. I
Yeah,
take it
I
back.
don't. Well, one, again, it's just I think from what I've heard, it's kind of like lacrosse and all those other sports that were clubs, and then like lacrosse is now a sport, but there's not a lot of teams. So when you get into the IHSA, you have to play. You know, I know the hockey team, they play the New Triers, and all those teams have like 5 different levels everyone's playing in, but I don't think there's a lot of high school teams to warrant getting in it. And they do, pretty nice just outside of it, but
Well, hockey's expensive, isn't it?
oh, you think?
Saying.
Last I checked. I mean, even when I was growing up, it was expensive. You had to have your own equipment. I mean, the rec used to have a hockey program and all that, but same with you. But back when we were playing that stuff, you were reusing someone from 2 years ago equipment and all that. It's just like throw it in the bin here. All right, pull it
Ah,
back.
man, floor hockey.
Floor hockey was my sport. We had
That
a great floor hockey team. Oh, and I don't know who created the floor hockey. Well, in high school, they decided you fill the puck with water.
oh,
That's when you could launch. We had our floor hockey league in high school, and that was big. You could only have, I think it was 2 hockey players on the team, and for obvious reasons. But
yeah.
we had 2. We had one guy was, I mean, his slap shot was on ice, was lightning. I mean, when he did the floor hockey puck, good Lord.
Did you wear did you wear knee pads or no?
No, I mean, our goalie, I mean, we had a really good team. Our goalie, he was our catcher for the baseball team,
Yeah.
full hockey gear, yeah, head to toe. And reason is because that with the puck with water in it,
Yeah.
and if you could hit a shot, oh, did that hurt? But that was fun.
Was that sanctioned? You could put water in there? That sounds like that's illegal.
I don't know about sanction, but as long as I played there, that they had the water in the puck just to keep it. Well, I mean, if it wasn't,
Yeah.
you had a puck fluttering around, and But no, that was fun. We were the Warriors.
Out
Warriors.
to play. What was your walk up chant? Did you do anything? Did you pound the sticks or anything?
No, I don't think we did. There was a lot of with the teams. There was a lot of bitterness between teams. So when you played, I mean, it was all out. Guys, you can't check. You're playing in the gym against brick walls. You guys can't check. Okay,
What's
that's fun.
you got a thought on the rec center?
That's a loaded question. What my thoughts
Well, the
meaning?
thought would be that you're a fan of it, so you would think that a budget needs to go in there to fix it up. No?
The actual building.
I
Yeah,
don't even
I
know where
mean
it is.
that building's old. They got to get creative. I mean, it's kind of interesting that That's just, again, me, but my understanding was the rec center was higher up on the master plan, a new one, than the supposed new police stations. So somehow something got adjusted, but yeah, they need it either refreshed or they need to add an addition or
What's the difference between the rec center and CROYA?
CROYA. CROYA is nothing. Well, CROYA is part of the city, used to be part of the rec, but they're still housed there. But CROYA is a youth group. It's always been kind of a youth group where middle school, I think it starts at 7th grade, 7th and 8th, can go there, hang out, and then up to high school. But I mean, before CROYA, the rec used to have not that building, but what they did have that building. But, they had pool tables, ping pong tables, video games and all that. You can go to the rec and do all that stuff it was more of a rec center to hang out at than it really is now. But,
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, CROYA does great stuff. But I think that the rec center itself needs to expand or, do something because.
Would you combine the two is what I'm saying?
CROYA?
Yeah. And the rec center?
I think it kind of is. But like I said, CROYA only lets certain age groups in on it. But yeah, I would say there's no reason not to.
Okay. Interesting.
But they got to do something. I mean, it's become old and stale building. And, I mean, the staff, I think like 5 or 6 of the staff work upstairs. You go in there, and that used to be an old racquetball court. They converted into offices. So, I mean, it's years ago. So, I mean, it's ready. It has to be, my opinion, has to be added onto, because I don't think you can move the rec center away from the fields. So, I think they should add in up top, and they can create a whole bunch of offices and running track and all that stuff. But I just thought I thought it was interesting. I thought it was higher up in the plan than what it really, I guess that's what happens in deals that happen in the dark of night. All of a sudden we're.
Well, we'll get to that. Shout out to Todd Nahigian. Nahigian. You can check out a link to an interview that we did with him a few years ago.
Oh yeah. Todd's a great guy. I think he's the second ED of CROYA, if I believe so, maybe third. But he's been with CROYA his whole career and has just transformed that place. I think he's done a wonderful job. But I thought he should have taken over the whole kit and caboodle.
Interesting. Executive director.
Yeah.
So Skoo, I'm losing track the last time because you're in and out. You're busy.
Hey, thanks for having me on today, by the way.
Thank you for accepting the invitation.
I'd like to thank all my fans and shout out to everyone.
I'd like to say hello to all my haters.
Welcome.
I love you.
Welcome to the Lake Forest podcast.
Home of the sweaty balls.
Hey, real quick, do you know? And I just started watching this podcast. I think Rick Telander and Big John Howell.
Yeah, they
just started a podcast.
John Howell, he went from US 99 to DJ to conservative host.
Yeah, it's called the Chicago Smokehouse.
Okay,
and it's been going for maybe 5 or 6. I think it's very good. Highly recommend it. I guess Telander just did one. They did a spot and he left the Sun Times, I guess, just recently and all that after gazillion years. But
oh, really? Like Dan Bernstein at the Score?
I don't know. No, I don't think it was like that. But no, John and Rick, I go way back with, and great people and Lake Foresters. And
well, I
just stumbled across it. I somehow got a link and I flipped it on, and
it caught you. It caught you.
So
Love to check him out. Big John. I remember him back in the music days when
the
country
Caucus Smokehouse.
early 90s, Big John Howell, big old hat.
Oh yeah.
And
I coached Little League several years ago, and the rec asked me to coach a house league team, and um, Big John was one of my coaches, and we had a great time doing that. But that's how I got to know him a lot better. But yeah, check it out.
well, it's nice that you're listening to conservative podcasts, Skoo.
Is it? I don't know.
Speaking of which, this episode will be coming out Saturday morning, unless you're a Patreon supporter. You'll get it on Friday. But the Lake County Dems are hanging out at Tesla again.
Oh, come on. The same one?
Same people. Yeah, same one.
The same Tesla dealer. Was it in Libertyville?
In Libertyville, yeah. And
People.
and all I'm going to say is I went there, I talked to the people, and nobody really had a reason why they were there. And if something erupts from it, I think
it's just crazy what's going on. I mean, people are just violence is not the answer to anything, and screaming and hollering is not the answer to anything. I mean,
like, oh, you're gonna throw eggs on my truck? All right, just don't set it on fire. Can I draw the line on fire, Skoo?
you draw the line, yeah, throwing stuff,
Yeah.
chasing people in the street that's driving a car by. I mean, my goodness.
But should our treasurer be involved in this stuff? I want to get past it, but it just popped up again this morning, and I'm like, 4:30 to 5:30 in Libertyville. So they're going to go out there. It's going to be rush hour, and they're going to be doing all this stuff. And I'm like, can't we?
It's not. Let's hope that one that you went to was peaceful. That was pretty peaceful, but who knows? I mean, seeing what's going on, pipe bombs and all that, and geez, please, I mean, come on, people.
Well,
Thought we are better than that, but
I thought so too. We are the party of love, Skoo. All right,
crazy. It's just
whatever.
well,
Let's
be safe out there when you go, and everyone else be safe when you go out there too.
And Joe's not here. I would lean more on the politics with Joe, so I'll lay off you. But
you won't get as in-depth expertise as Joe, but I
don't think there's any expertise in any of this stuff because a lot of it just doesn't make sense it
doesn't.
If I'm going to go out there and stand, at least it'll be warmer than it was. But you have people that the median age is like 75 that are out there standing in the snow and just hating two individuals. I just think there's got to be better use of time. That's all.
Well, the thing that I don't understand, and where I'm at, I'm in the very middle of the road. I believe in both stuff on both sides, but that's just my personal opinion.
Thank you.
And I don't hold people, in ill will, whether they think what they want or not. But
unless you're in government office,
I don't get it. I mean, it was like the last 4 years, whether you feel it was horrible or if it was great, no one was doing this stuff. I mean, and I say no one since the Democrats were in charge the last 4. I don't remember Republicans. I know Republicans that were pissed, and rightfully so on a lot of stuff, but I don't remember car bombings and all that crap.
Well, you can't.
Am I missing something?
You can't get the Republicans off the couch, Skoo.
Well, I mean, whatever, but it's just. But no, I'm being serious. I know the Democrat Party is historically, our protesters and all that just from the past, but I mean, I'm just saying, if Republican-based people are doing what has been done, like to Tesla, I mean,
wouldn't happen. Couldn't happen.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't get it where it's all of a sudden. And I've always said, hey, listen, The greatest thing about our democracy is if you don't like the guy, it's 4 years. And let me tell you how fast 4 years goes.
I mean,
My daughter, I remember on the podcast, just started going to school. Now she's done. Are you kidding me?
wait, what?
Oh, yeah,
No more
graduates in,
Fordham? That's it?
graduates in May. But again, that's yeah. But
Congratulations.
thanks. But it's just that's the beauty of it, though. It's not permanent, and if it's really that bad, I don't know. Give it a chance. If it completely blows up, then you have every right to be mad, but you can't.
I started like you, trying to understand both sides and after talking to people for, I don't know, several years and going to see it for myself, there isn't any other side.
Yeah.
I just hope, this is going to come out on Saturday. Nothing happens to my favorite Tesla dealership in Libertyville. And it's
I didn't realize you got a truck until I saw you piddling by in town.
rant,
You know,
rant.
the cyber truck.
It's a tank.
I
Go,
know.
go. But, I'm going back to 2013 when everybody loved Elon and electric cars are good and all that. So,
Now, I mean, I don't get it. I
well,
mean, I don't get it, but I don't also get the violence. It's wrong. Uh, you know, setting cars on fire and harassing. It's wrong. It's not.
Skoo, and I could
I
be
don't
way
get it.
off base. What's really irritating is that if our tax dollars somehow wound up in a budget that's funding people to come out and protest and do this stuff, that would be a real shame. And
Right.
and people in a position like Callie Kim as a treasurer, who I interviewed 3 or 4 times, got to
I
like
know
as
you
a
did.
person, and then when it got down to it, I see somebody who's just trying to scale the Democratic wall and get to the next level, and is
Well,
about
I remember I listened to the show you and Joe did with her and whoever that guy was about her
coins.
coins. I don't know if I think I did text you or something like, how is this not a conflict of interest?
You know,
Our county treasurer is,
I'm I'm looking into all of it, Scoo,
oh,
and
okay.
what
Never mind.
I and I'm really look, life is all about feedback. And when people act like this and they do things and nobody calls them on it, it just uh, gives them reason to do it again. So I'm just going to say, you know what? For my treasurer, when I'm getting double billed or getting 2 refunds taken out or whatever the problems are, um, I just want them to focus on their job and
Hey,
leave.
dude, I was listening to the show. I thought it was a joke.
What?
Her, was it her that does a Bitcoin or something? I don't know what they,
Yeah, yeah.
I thought, I was
Chicken
initially
coins.
listening to it and I thought it was a joke. And I'm like, oh, got you. They're serious.
Well,
And I'm like, is the treasurer, the county treasurer's pitching? And I don't know.
you can take money in a coin, but when you convert political contributions into Bitcoin, that's where you get in sketchy
Yeah, that's
stuff.
over I don't, but it's just kind of weird that a treasurer is got a side gig of something like that.
Like, how
What
about
do I know though?
how about just
Just
doing
my
a job?
opinion.
Just saying. School, let's weave back in. We're a couple of days away from opening day, aren't we?
Oh, yeah, tomorrow. Well, tomorrow, Thursday.
Yeah,
Both Cubs and Sox. And unfortunately,
yeah.
we can't watch it.
Well, that marquee thing.
Gone. Cubs and Sox, you have to. I checked yesterday because someone said it, and I was like, "There's no way." Now, you know me; I'm a diehard Sox fan. Always have, always will. My
Yeah,
favorite team is the Sox. My second favorite team is whoever's playing the Cubs,
yeah.
and but that's just how it is. And I'll watch them. Try to go to their games no matter what. Found out the other day. Oh, sorry, No Sox games now. But you can buy some sort of antenna that you hook up to your roof that gets like normal station, not normal
Yeah.
station, but whatever. And they're on like 62.2.
Skoo, get one of those. It's easy. They're like $10.
Yeah, dude, I'm not crawling up on my roof and installing
You don't
stuff.
even, you can stick it to your window right there.
Come
Depending
on.
on, I'm telling you. At least it
Man, the
used to be.
Cubs
It's
are the
like a
same
little
way.
square.
You got to stream you got to buy the streaming app to watch the
Oh,
games now. So I looked into it for the Sox, and it's like the first month's like 19.99, and then after the next month it's like $30 a month. I'm like, what?
I'll do the
So
YouTube highlights. That's fine.
yeah, I mean, I'll listen to the radio, but I can't stand Darren Jackson, so it's just that's gonna be painful. Yeah, usually you can turn off the TV and listen to the radio. I never did that because I couldn't stand him, and now I have no choice because you can't turn off the radio and watch the game. Very frustrating, let me tell you. That and then the Cubs, I think, are the same way.
Do you think the Sox will break another record, or it's hard to break that one they broke last
Well, I
year?
tell you, Pete, it's the 125 year anniversary, and
Yeah.
I'm thinking that they might go 125 for 125, and I'm talking about wins.
What? I didn't even catch that one.
Well, it's their 125th anniversary, and some will say, well, they're going to have 125 losses. I think it's the
Oh,
other way.
losses. Okay.
I think it's the other way. 125 wins. Wouldn't that be something?
Do you remember?
But
Do you remember your first Sox game?
I do. With the rec center, I was in their baseball league, and the rec used to go, on field trips, and they used to go to the White Sox game, and it was bat day, and Pat Kelly was the signature bat, so I had a blue Pat Kelly wood bat.
Those are
And it wasn't like a little tiny one. It was a
yeah.
full, I think, a 30-inch wood blue Sox bat. So that was my first game, but I was hooked on them before that. It must have been something growing up that I didn't like. I used to watch the Cubs
Yeah.
after school, but I always kind of, for some reason, wanted to turn on Channel 44 and watch the snowy White Sox games. Adjusting the antenna. Damn it.
No, you were adjusting that squiggly line in the middle of the screen
No, that was for late night. What was the
on TV.
on TV? 10 o'clock, like if you know, you know.
Just saying. Just saying.
No, so that's yeah, that was my first game. We used to have season tickets, nice season tickets. Got to sit in the section, the safest section in Illinois. We had our season tickets were right in where all of the
Oh, mayor seat.
retired and current police families sit. So it's like always, like, oh yeah, there's a lot of cops here, But that was fun. But then after '94, we dropped the season tickets when Reinsdorf
Oh yeah.
got Major League Baseball striking, and
Just,
but stayed loyal to him. But it's just I cannot believe you can't watch them. And I heard someone say that even though you can get that, some of them are blacked out for some reason. And I don't know, is that Reinsdorf who owns the Comcast thing? Because the Cubs had it too, or Marquee.
oh, I don't know. I thought it was like Madison Square, or I don't know. Whenever it went over there, I'm like,
How stupid.
Skoo, let me test your memory banks here because I just saw a little funny picture here.
Of me?
Harry Chapin
Taxi.
took over for Solder Home at
Terry
shortstop.
Chapin.
That little shortstop, what's his name?
Harry Chappis.
Yeah, that's what I said.
You said Harry Chapin. He's saying taxi.
Do you remember the outfits that they used to wear with the
Oh,
shorts?
I remember. Well, like I said, my first game, it was Pat Kelly, and they were in the red pinstripes. And then they went to the blue and white shorts. Remember that thing? I think that what was that Vec when that was that? It might have been
Yeah.
Bill Vec. That guy was a crazy, crazy promotional guy.
Oh, he and his son. Yeah. I was just wondering if you were a fan of the shorts, yes or no. All right.
I mean, I thought it was different, but
You're a
you know,
traditionalist. I get
hey,
it.
but listen, sliding in shorts, that's okay. I mean, again, when I was growing up, we played on Griffith Road. We played wiffle ball on that narrow street,
Yeah.
and first base was a tree, third base was a light post, and second and home were on the pavement. So you started playing hard, you're sliding into the pavement. So sliding
Oh,
in shorts, not too bad, but yeah, those were interesting. But they had a good team then. They had some good players. Remember Oscar Gamble,
oh yeah. Yeah.
George Orta,
That was a fro.
Chet Lemon.
Chet.
I think Fisk came over right at the beginning of that.
Yeah, that's when it all started, right?
Yeah. Then they got the bull.
Luzinski.
You know, you know.
Just saying. Just saying. So, Skoo, let's pull you back in over to more serious stuff.
Oh,
We the caucus stuff. Much ado about nothing, or
well, I mean, I just think yes. I just kind of think it's crazy that, at least my understanding when I was on the caucus, how the caucus operated, somewhere along the line, I think 15, 20 years ago,
yeah,
people got involved and started changing stuff. And but,
experts.
yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny when Joe was talking about agendas and, nonpartisan and all that.
Yeah,
Whoever got on there at that time, probably 15, 20 years ago, if that wasn't agenda driven or politic driven, is somewhere down the line, they moved from just a nonprofit to a PAC. And that's when it all started. I don't think I think that was recent. I don't know. You have to give Joe an exercise. But somewhere along the line, they were refiled as a PAC. And I guess that's kind of confusing to me because one of the pillars of the caucus is nonpartisan. So how can you be a PAC, if you're supposed to be
they,
nonpartisan?
they say that if they're going to take money in, they have to have a way to have it organized. That's why they did it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But every nonprofit takes money in. You don't have to be a PAC to take money in. And on top of that, you're not supporting any political people. I mean, right? I mean, they're not. I don't know. But that's where I think it got screwy because my memory of the caucus when I was on it, as well as after and before, we elect those 9 people in each ward. Whether you want to call it an election or not, you vote for them. And,
Yeah.
they when I was on the caucus, the exec council was just like any other nonprofit. They ran the day-to-day business, took care of the money that came in, there was no, spin-off groups interviewing people and all that. If there was a third ward alderman position open, you knew about it. The third ward chairman would meet with the 9 people, try to figure out who that person is, bring him in, talk to him. And if it was a third ward that had an alderman, they'd push it up to the full caucus saying, here's who we're supporting, and bring that guy or gal in front of the whole 43 or the entire caucus and interview. There was never any subcommittees, taking care of that. And somewhere along the line we tripped up. And the other thing is, with, like you said, with these votes, I mean, the old and new meeting, I mean, never have I heard of a nonprofit having to have their exec board approved by the public. I mean, call it what you want. I mean, whether it's the right way or not, and I know you had some personal experiences of that, but
Hands-on, yeah.
But here's my point on that. The exec council, whether the vice president became the president, it was always until this, I call it the refiling of the status. But when an exec council person's time ended, the whole general caucus was in that general meeting that they would have, not the new and that stuff, but just with the meetings. And I think it was monthly meetings, the full caucus would meet. And the exec council would say, hey, Pete's the vice president, the president's leaving, or the secretary. Anyone in the caucus want to take on these roles? And it, right, wrong, or indifferent, you raise your hand if you're interested, and then it would, okay, then that's the person it's never been this. And it's never been, when you went through it, was like, hey, I got a question. Why is it this way? Shut up. And, it's always, at least to me, has always been exec council is typically people with their terms ending, and they want to pursue that. And it was a majority vote of the full caucus, not someone just the secret, well, it is what it is, and here's how we do it. But I don't know. I just think they've lost their way there. And I don't know. It could be because they file as a PAC, so there's certain rules that PACs have to abide by, but it never was like that. And in turn, the same thing with these votes for candidates and all that. Somewhere along the line in the last 15, 20 years, it was never a vote until recently. That meeting, not the old new, but the annual meeting.
Yeah.
It was specifically to meet our candidates and approve our work we did. It was never vote the candidates. The candidates were voted on by the full caucus. That's what the public hired the representatives of each ward to do. The annual meeting was, we did our work, here's who we're putting forward, and it was a rubber stamp. Yes, there wasn't necessarily a no. You could say no, but there was no, okay, we got 20 people saying no and 10 people saying yes. It was never that. It was approval of the work that was done to get those candidates, interview and get those candidates. And again, somewhere along the line, stuff changed.
We just had the future president on, Regina Etherton. Did you have any thoughts on anything that she said? Because I think I asked a lot of those things that you just...
Well, I think she missed the point on a lot of them because, my perspective and opinion on how the caucus used to run, and for, when people say, oh, it's operated for 90 years, it hasn't. It operated for 70 plus years the right way, and somewhere along the last 15 years, it's sidelined themselves. And now, I just think it's crazy that a nonprofit has to have their exec board approved by the general public. And, I think Joe mentioned, he goes, hey, listen, it's a testament, the vote's the vote. Well, yeah, but 90% of the people in Lake Forest didn't vote. So they're happy with, or they understand that, this is crazy what's going on. I mean, I don't know. But she's part of the new process. So, well, I don't approve of her. I wouldn't have voted for her, but that's, I've had some unfortunate experiences on interviews, but.
Well, that's one of the things we brought up. It's you bringing these people on to do interviewing, and what if they don't know how to interview? You're subject to whoever, comes in. So,
go ahead.
Well, I know you're not a big fan of that. All you need is someone that has a desire to do it. But
right. Well, I just think it's law. It's, again, I am 100% supporter of it, whether it comes with awards or not. That's the process. We follow that. Right. It's unique and, it works. But there are some stuff that, I think needs to be figured out, because it's particularly this, the issue of an outside group like John Paul Turkla's group pushing this caucus to do certain things that you don't have to. That's not, I don't agree with that. That's not something that's productive. But I do think the caucus, again, has lost its way a little bit, even with interviewing. I mean, again, when I was there, and that was several years ago, but even before that, a requirement to volunteer, it wasn't what you did for a living. The requirement was raise your hand. I want to contribute. And there was never a main desire to say, oh, this is what you do. You're good on this board. And I say that's wrong because that's what creates conflict. I mean, if you load up a plan commission with developers,
Just saying.
But that's the problem now, is that the caucus is looking for specialized people to serve as volunteers. I mean, some of the greatest, when I was ward chair, some of the greatest people we put on boards and commissions were people that raised their hand and wanted to contribute. They got on a board and commission. They read the minutes. They contributed effectively. They learned what the boards and commissions do. But that's the whole genesis, the idea of the caucus and volunteering, not pigeonhole people saying, oh, you're not an attorney, so you can't do this, or you're not in, you don't have a MS in historic preservation, so you can't be here. I mean, it's you didn't do anything with athletics, so you can't be on the rec board. I mean, that's how they do it now. And wait a minute, here's another one. I'm sorry, you're qualified, but until you get off the podcast, you can't volunteer anymore. Really?
Is that a conflict of interest?
Oh, conflict of interest. And but see, that's the thing is, here's a conflict of interest. And it's just me saying this, and I've just learned this stuff. I've never, ever, 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 ever seen before an alderman who, after he serves his term and had done wonderful things as a volunteer, and actually won, I think, the Larry Temple Award, which is the highest award you get as a volunteer, and then come back and say, I want to be on the building review board, or it doesn't make, or I want to be on the caucus again. I mean, alderman, mayor, I guess, is your highest level you can attain as a volunteer. Alderman.
Are we talking about Novit?
Well, he's, I believe, on the caucus for some reason. And if you want to talk a conflict of interest, again, my opinion,
yeah,
you try to keep away the caucus committee from, yes, you guys or whoever would interview and appoint people to be appointed by the mayor to be served on boards and commissions. But then you kind of, people on the boards and commissions, or the alderman, kind of, you want to devoid yourself of the caucus process because they want to keep it pure and not. He's on the caucus. His wife's an alderman. Isn't that a conflict? Isn't it a conflict if the head of the building review board, who used to be alderman, his daughter, who he works with, is an alderman? I'm just asking. I think it's a conflict somewhere along the line. They have a business in town. They do great work, but I don't know. What if that corner spot wants to be developed or something?
Just saying.
So, I think, and they do great work, but it's just like, why are we retreading people that have served successfully, and we can't find enough people to volunteer? We're actually going back and putting people that were aldermen back in these committees. I don't know. I just don't. Again, it's my opinion. I just don't think that's. I think there's plenty of people that want to raise their hand, but I think a lot are turned off because how many times they're told they're not qualified. The only qualification is, I want to help the city, I want to volunteer, and I want to do the work.
Well, you got an opinion on Prue Beidler's Michael Jordan facts? I'm back.
Oh, I don't know. Is she? I mean, I just, I don't know. Again, I think that's a caucus issue, with interviewing and selecting. I mean,
Well, who's going to be the next contested mayor?
I don't know. I mean, do you think there's going to be a contested election?
I'm just going by what Prue puts out there. She's still unhappy with the caucus. You still have the trans group out there that are going to get their candidate. I don't know if it's Prue or it's Melanie or whatever the deal is. Just whoever the caucus picks, they're going to put somebody up against it, whoever it is.
Well, and that's the whole thing, Pete. I think, hopefully there's not this continuation of contested elections and all that. I mean, at a certain point, you know, when do you say uncle? I mean, when is your ego so kind of like, I'm done. But I don't know. I mean, is Melanie going to run? I don't know. I mean, I have an opinion. I don't think she should be allowed to run. She
Why,
can, but
why Scoop?
no. I mean, I think anyone that um, causes chaos and lawsuits against the city should be excluded for running for office. I know you can't do that, but I just there's got to be more better people. And my whole thing where I support the caucus is, if Melanie wants to run or Prue wants to run, instead of doing it against the caucus, just go through the process again and interview. Why is that such a difficult thing? And the caucus has to be better at who they're selecting. They shouldn't be there shouldn't be 5 set questions they ask every single person running for office.
How did you prepare for this meeting, Scoo?
Oh, I'm serious, Pete, because here's my take on it. If you've already served in a position and you're going for another position, why are you asking me the same questions you're asking someone walking in the front door? Why aren't you asking me about what I just did and what I just served and how did that go and what, but they don't. It's like, how did you prepare for the meeting? Why do you think you're qualified? I mean, that's the whole thing. And I think if they did a better job on the last mayoral of interviewing and not asking that, say, what did you do as an alderman in your position that benefited the city type of stuff? I think you get a truer take on that. And I think if that was the case, I think, maybe it would have stayed the same. But I think there was some much, much better mayoral candidates. I think Randy's good, but I think the ones that they turned away. I mean, here my take was they're with the caucus when they nominate someone, there's no second place. It's like here's who we're going with.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like someone had told these people, well, you're the runner up. Well,
Yippee.
that creates this. I just think, let's take the last one. If Prue wasn't so-called the runner-up and certain other people that were interviewed, which I thought were better, just based on their performance as aldermen,
Yeah.
I don't think we'd ever have this issue. But I think the issue was, one, what was her third time? She didn't get the nod.
Yeah.
But I think she actually thought she was a better alderman than Randy. And that's why she thought she was snubbed, which is fine. But again, respect the process. Even if, let's put it this way, Pete, even if let's just say she was mayor, we would be in the same state we are today. There wouldn't have been this change or anything like that. She would have come back, I support the caucus 100%, and this is how, blah, blah, blah. So that's kind of the BS, I think, is that, you're running opposing the caucus because you're not happy with the decision. Christ, if everyone that got turned down by the caucus for a position, I've been turned down I don't know how many times, and I say, okay, I get it. I thought I would be good at it. You didn't think so, so let's move on. But some people think or want to think that maybe she does run again. I mean, I think she's going to run opposite the caucus again, and I got to put a lot of money into it again. And
the caucus is going to need money.
Yeah, hopefully there's not. It doesn't do anybody any good to have contested elections. Because it undermines the whole process itself, I think.
Well, speaking of the process, you got a thought on how they did the bylaws, and I don't know why they use Melanie and Novit and to bring people on and then have them go away and come back. What?
I didn't stay connected to that, but I just thought that was, I think, and I like Joe. I think Joe decided, yeah, I'm going to appease everybody and I'm going to put this commission together and have one person who's was anti everything leading it up or whatever. I don't even know what their involvement was besides being oversight. But again, it's like, what needed to be changed? Why are these, why was the caucus hiring or putting on the committees and all that, these, bylaw experts and all that? To me, that's just something that is.
They screwed it up.
Exactly.
Intentionally or not, who knows? But
well, that's why I kind of say, Pete, is somewhere along 15 or 20 years ago, someone came on the caucus, or some people came on the caucus, which had agendas, which probably shouldn't be allowed to be on the caucus. But if they were vetted right, and these people, whoever it was, kind of said, wow, we're filed as a nonprofit. Shouldn't we be a PAC? And I think that's where it all started. And I don't know anyone political that are being interviewed for political positions within the city.
You got a thought on having an advisory group of past presidents or caucus people to help in the transition and old and new?
I think I mentioned this when I was part of your podcast several years ago, that the way that the caucus was moving, they needed an oversight committee. And I don't know if it necessarily is former mayors but I think it's former, maybe aldermen, mayors, what have you, really kind of overseeing it, because again, the exec council was always set up as that overseer, not necessarily down in the dirt doing stuff that the 36 should be doing. But it seems like they're more in the dirt, and it kind of, some people could probably say, why do you need those 4 awards when the exec council is doing everything? Which then again, you start going, well, yeah, it's so hard to get volunteers. Well, I guess if you're struggling to get committee members for your wards, it's self-fulfilling. If the exec council is doing everything and only asking a couple people to help with that detracts people from wanting to raise their hand. But I think that I've always thought there should be an somehow oversight, not city employees, but maybe, like you said, former mayors, former aldermen,
people that have the knowledge, right?
Yeah, and you have to have, contrary to what I've seen a lot of, you have to have the new, and it kind of falls in line with what they call the new old meeting. You have to have new old people. Mm-hmm. Not old like me being old, but that know the past to kind of take you into the future. And you need the young people that know the future, but if you just have new trying to say, hey, it's always worked this way for 90 years, well, it hasn't. And that's the thing. It's skewing a wrong way. And, but you need that, I think you need that history.
Yeah.
Included, not being told like, oh yeah, you're too old. You've been here forever. You don't qualify. But
you're overqualified for rec center, rec board.
But see, but again, just what you said, there's there should be no qualification except I want to, raise my hand. And here's the thing. When I was on the rec board, what frustrated me more than anything being on the rec board would be to go to a rec board meeting and you have a packet you have to read and 3/4 of your peers haven't read it. And you're trying to get work done and it just, delays the process, or you have someone on the board with you asking a question. That's in the packet that we gave you to read.
Page 32, the big red circle around it.
But honest to God, that was it. And it was just, and I know that's not just when I was on the board. I've seen it on other boards and commissions. When you watch them, it's like, someone gets on their soapbox and then someone will go, that's on page 32 of the packet you were supposed to read before today. But we'll answer it again. And, then it turns into a 3-hour meeting. But the qualification, is nonpartisan. You want to do the work and you want to help, and, no agenda. And it's simple. And I think that's simple to find out from people, but you can't ask the 5 same questions all the time. I mean,
well, you can ask the questions, but what are you looking for?
Yeah. I mean, having an agenda, it's not necessarily you have an agenda, but it's, do you have an agenda against the city for some reason? Do you have were you part of this transparency group that probably disqualifies any of them from being a part of the caucus? Because if you bring them in an interview, do you have a conflict? Well, yeah, I'm on this transparency group and we argue everything the city does. Well, yeah, you don't qualify that. Thank you, but no.
But we're transparent.
Huh?
But we're transparent, Skoo.
No, that's the worst name for them.
You know what? They're half transparent, so that's why I call them trans. Skoo, we're people are on the road, spring break. Hello, Naples. Hello, Florida. Welcome. Come on back. We got get your mail-in ballots in for the
That's another thing. Come on, seriously.
Whatever, Skoo.
But I think, Pete, that's because it was changed to a pack or whatever it is.
Yeah.
That they have to follow certain rules. I don't know. Joe might know more better, but
yeah, well, I'm sure we'll get a critique.
How about just shifting out of this stuff?
Go ahead.
How about the spring sports at the high school?
Talk to me.
The lacrosse girls and guys. Got the guys defending state champs.
That's right.
Looking good, and I think the girls are always right there, and this might be their year too. I mean, they have their star player. She's phenomenal. I think she's going to Virginia on a full ride.
That's a good place to go for lacrosse.
Yeah, got baseball kicking in. Hopefully they're better than the past, but girls softball's getting big.
Yeah.
Over there. Yeah. I mean, the rec's got a new feeder program. So, I mean, it's starting to.
If it's only 16 inch, I'm for it.
But 16 inch is fun. I played I'm a 12-inch guy, but I played when I was at Allstate. They had a 16-inch league, and I also thought, come on, it's 16-inch. So I played with one of the better teams on there, and I played third base, and we were warming up. I'm like, well, when does this get soft?
That's what she said.
That's what she said. The ball. Yeah. Wow. That thing comes at you. Especially when you have big lumpers like you might have been.
I didn't
turning on you 30 feet away and launching that big. But that was that. I enjoyed playing that. That was 16-inch that I did not realize.
Well, maybe we'll get some tournaments in town with that new turf that we got. Have you heard anything about the new turf or?
Yeah, I mean, I hope they have, I hope the new guy has some plans, because it's been kind of disappointing for me, who supported it and all that, and supported, they're going to have big tournaments there. They're going to rent out the place. I haven't seen anything but the same programming.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty sad that, promises were made that we're going to generate revenue there. I mean, I went by there all last summer just because I could.
Yeah.
Nothing going on there. Nothing.
You sound like Melanie and our guy Paul.
Well, I tell you, that's why I'm a different animal, because I'm not one side driven. I wholly believed in it that this was going to happen, and it just hasn't. I mean,
well, what would you bring in that guy? You would think that if you're going to bring in that position, that you could help pay for it by bringing in outside money, unless they're waiting for this street construction to get done.
Right. Well, I tell you what, Pete, and I don't know this guy, and I know he's doing okay. I mean, which is fine, but when you bring, so the rec, as you know, is not a park district, and it's allocated only a tiny sliver of money from the city's revenue, right? And a park district, you basically have your own revenue stream and budget and all that stuff. So I think, and he was with the Gurnee Park District, which, coming in here, hopefully he does better, but I think probably one of his shocking things was like, how much do I get? What I get what to work with? But I don't know. I mean, I personally said that before this was, I talked to the past as executive director and all that, and they asked me for what I thought. And my big thing was that you have to hire an outside firm that does this stuff to manage that facility and manage, getting events there and all that. Because there's organizations out there that do that. And one organization that I wholeheartedly said, why the hell aren't you asking them, is Kemper Sports, who's already in our city with the golf course.
The beach golf course?
Ask them to manage it and do it the right way. But
you can make brackets.
I could. I did. I used to. But the thing is, like you said, if you want to have a tournament this summer, that should have been done last year.
Yeah.
Getting teams, not getting, you know what? It's May and we're going to have a big softball tournament. Well, guess what? All these softball teams, whether it's 12 or 16 inch, they're already enrolled in all their other tournaments already. This should have been done last year. Just like last year should have been done the year before that when they were building the fields. So I don't know. I mean, I hope for the best that it does produce revenue, but I can tell you the revenue probably that it's generating is the increase in the existing programs fees.
Skoo Walker, thank you for coming back. I appreciate it. It only takes a month of begging and I get you to come on for a show. Thank you, Skoo Walker.
Hey, it was fun as always, Pete.
All right. Skoo Walker is responsible for nothing on this show. This is Pete Janson's fault, 100%. If you smell smoke, that's probably left over from Libertyville. Hopefully not. Skoo Walker.
God, don't say that, Pete. I hope it's not. You do too. If you're going to it, you don't want anything to happen.
You know what? I was thinking about going, but I don't see. What am I going to do? Stand on one side and say you suck and
do the same thing you did before?
Yeah, like whatever. It's
isn't that the definition of insanity?
Yeah, expecting a different result.
All right.
Skoo Walker, enjoy the sunshine and the electricity. Bye.
We got it back.
The Lake Forest Podcast is supported by viewers, listeners, and businesses just like you. Michelle Parno has lived and worked in Lake Forest for over 2 decades. Michelle's lending experience, when combined with her real estate expertise, makes her an invaluable asset to her clients as they navigate their home buying or selling process. Call Michelle now at 847-528-8721, 847-528-8721. For the best cannabis in the world, look no further than Iliad Epic Grow. Owned by Lake Bluff's own Rich Ruzich, they are a cannabis cultivation center focusing on hard-to-find small batch products that will delight both the occasional user and ganjier. When visiting Michigan, ask for it by name. Epic Products, exceptional process. For more information, email info@iliadgrow.com. Laracy & Company CPAs, founded in 2010 by Lake Forest's own Brian Laracy, specializes in tax preparation and bookkeeping services. Earning the People Love Us on Yelp award, their process is straightforward. Just upload, review, and file. For a free quote, visit laracycpa.com now. That's LARISEYCPA.com. I'm excited to share with you something special from our Lake Forest community, the Aesthetic Lounge Med Spa, located at 775 North Bank Lane in Lake Forest near Wisconsin Avenue. This just isn't any spa. They offer an amazing blend of traditional spa services plus the added benefit of medical procedures and treatments. In a relaxing and luxurious spa environment, you can enjoy a range of cosmetic and aesthetic treatments. These are all performed under the supervision of top medical professionals. The Aesthetic Lounge Med Spa provides skin care, facial rejuvenation, body contouring, laser hair removal, Botox, dermal fillers, chemical peels, and much more. What's great is that each treatment is tailored not just to enhance your appearance, but also to address specific skin concerns and to promote overall well-being. So if you're looking to pamper yourself and take your beauty routine to the next level, give the Aesthetic Lounge Med Spa a call at 224-768-8028 or visit them at their location on North Bank Lane. It's an experience your skin will thank you for. We'd also like to say we're thankful for our Patreon supporters, Otto, John C., Helen, Herrick, JM, and Paul G.